Yesterday was a massive day for Canadian politics. Jagmeet Singh whored himself around on different reporters, different TV stations, different interviews, and he just got tossed around, and they made a mockery of him pretty much. It was embarrassing. In fact, Jagmeet Singh used his platform and that opportunity, those opportunities, to basically issue threats to Pierre Poilievre and Justin Trudeau. I'm coming for your jobs, Pierre, get out of the way. And he, said a bunch of things that were very, very false, such as the fact that Pierre Poilievre is trying to abolish our entire healthcare system. No, that is not correct. Pierre Poilievre has offered a two-tier healthcare system, a pay-to-play, and our public healthcare. That is a brilliant idea that would free up a lot of the wait lines in the public healthcare system. Now, if you can't afford to pay to play for the healthcare, that is very unfortunate, but it would free up so much time and it would add more money here in our economy. Instead, people are flocking to other countries around the world for something that's called medical tourism. You can go to Thailand and you can get a whole whack of blood work done, a whole bunch of checkups done, things that you can't even do here with a family doctor because you don't have a family doctor. You need a family doctor to get certain blood work done. But you can fly overseas to Thailand, get all that stuff done in the top tier area by top physicians. They put you in a top-notch 5-star hotel, all for a fee. Now, is that something that we should have here in Canada? Yeah, that would be incredible. In fact, if we had medical tourism here where people from other countries said, you know what, we want to go to Canada and get their medical treatment, that could be something that might be good for our economy. But instead, Jagmeet Singh would like to perpetuate lies and say Pierre Poilievre is abolishing our medical system. Wrong, false. So yesterday, in the same day as Jagmeet Singh making his rounds on social media, on mainstream media, Pierre Poilievre did the exact same. And his response was, Jagmeet, you are incompetent, and this is why you will not be Prime Minister of Canada. We're going to be taking a look at an interview where Pierre Poilievre really, really gives it to a reporter, and Jagmeet Singh is the victim. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Before we get into it, I do want to encourage everyone to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. It does really help grow the channel. I hope you consider turning post notifications on so you can actually be notified of upcoming videos. And a reminder that this is indeed the extra channel. So I know I might look familiar, probably do look familiar from other channels, but I'd appreciate it if you guys gave this channel the same love that you do all the others, or else that's discrimination, as we call it here in Canada. Anyways, moving on, let's get into this video, shall we?
The country is facing some political uncertainty after the NDP ended its deal with the Trudeau Liberals. For more on this, we're joined by federal Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre. Mr. Poilievre, good afternoon. Thank you for taking time to speak with us. Let's start with this.
Good to be with you.
Look, the wheels are in motion locally. We've seen Toronto St. Paul's flip. Are you ready for an early election and becoming Prime Minister?
Yes, we need a carbon tax election. After 9 years of Trudeau and the NDP Liberals, everything costs more. 2 million people line up at food banks. 1 in 10 Torontonians are relying on food banks right now. The cost of housing has more than doubled, to the point where 2/3 of young people believe they'll never be able to own a home. This was not the case before Trudeau. Crime, chaos, drugs, and disorder are rampant in our once safe streets. And now Trudeau and the NDP want to jack the carbon tax up by 300%, all the way to 61 cents a litre, which will grind our economy to a halt. But the good news is that common sense Conservatives will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. But we need a carbon tax election to get there, and that's what we'll be pushing for in the fall.
Okay.
Now, one of the big differences between conservatives and everybody else is conservatives don't vote for somebody based off of their physical appearances. Now, this is something that unfortunately Liberals and NDP can't say about themselves. A lot of people voted for Justin Trudeau because, oh my God, his hair and his socks, and wow, he looks like a prince. And that is not the approach that conservatives have with Pierre. However, but I do got to say, Pierre is looking like he is working out, looking like he's taking care of himself. And as one of those things being a conservative values about working on your own personal health, your mental health, and staying in shape, which all conservative voters can agree is very important to do, I'd say that he is looking pretty good, pretty in shape.
Okay, along those lines, Mr. Poilievre, you continually push for the end of this carbon tax. I'd like for you to elaborate on some of the other issues on your platform that you say will save Canadians money. I'd like some concrete examples, please.
Sure. Build the homes. As you know, after 9 years of Trudeau, housing costs have doubled, and Canada now has the most expensive housing in all of the G7. And why is that? The reason is that we have the fewest homes per capita. And that's a little strange given that we have by far the most land to build on. What's the obstacle? It is government gatekeepers that block building permits and tax home building. So I will require local governments speed up permits, free up land, cut taxes and bureaucracy to build 15% more homes per year as a condition of getting their federal funding. Cities that beat my target will get a building bonus. The municipal government will get more money if its bureaucrats are quickly and affordably approving more home building. I'll sell off 6,000 federal buildings, thousands of acres of federal land to build. We'll back the trades because we need boots and not suits to build the homes. There should be hope, because when I was housing minister, the average rent in Canada was only about $950 for a one bedroom, or about $1,100 for a two bedroom.
Now it's crazy.
So I've proven that we can make housing affordable, and that's what I'm going to do when I'm prime minister.
Right. And the dangers of talking too much about the policies, as we've seen very recently, more so than ever, is that Justin Trudeau and the Liberals take what Pierre says. They see that it has tremendous social benefits. People are saying, yeah, no, give us the land, the federal land, to us people, to developers, so that we can build more homes. That makes sense. Well, the danger is that Justin Trudeau and Liberals have said, yeah, no, we like that. Let's now propose that to the public. And that's something that Justin Trudeau has come forward and said. Now, he's done it a little bit differently. Instead of letting people own the land, he's provided government leases, 99-year lease, which sucks, man. When you sure, some places you can get some cool properties that are leased 99 years. When you purchase it, there's 37 years left and you can renew the leases. But at the end of the day, it's still a government lease. And if the government has something that they want to do with that land, then when your lease is up, adios amigos. And so they've taken Pierre's talking points because they criticized Justin Trudeau, the Liberals, the NDP have criticized heavily Pierre Poilievre in the past, saying you can't give off land, that's crazy. And they turn around and literally Justin Trudeau has literally talked about that quite recently. That was a massive point. The media goes, he's so brave. That's such a brilliant idea. Now, that wasn't Justin Trudeau's idea. That was Pierre Poilievre's idea. So we have to give credit where credit is due. And I think a lot of people are on board with that. We don't have a shortage of land. We have a shortage of land that you can build on and that is available for purchase. That is a very real thing here in Canada. In fact, most of our land that people live in, I think like 95 or 98% of habitable land is within like 300 or 400 kilometers of our southern border. So it's all very, very close to that borderline. And it would be nice to, get a little bit more woods that people can live in and develop land there so that we can accommodate our growth, our insane growth population. But this is the dangers of Pierre Poilievre talking too much about his policies and what exactly he wants to do, because they get taken by Justin Trudeau. And look, it is for the better of the country. Absolutely. If Trudeau didn't have his little spin on it, if it wasn't, it's a least opportunity and people, instead it was what Pierre's suggesting, where you can just sell off government land for people to buy, not lease, but buy, then yeah, that's for the betterment of the country. Just because Trudeau's saying it, it's easy to look for that confirmation bias, but Trudeau always has these super weird spins on things that just tick people off, man. He doesn't get it right. He just cannot get the policies right. Even with the temporary foreign worker program, he's trying to do the right thing, even though he's caused the issue, but he just can't get it right. There's always a little freaking progressive ridiculousness attached to it.
I'd like to talk about crime and safety. Look, over this past weekend, we had 11 shootings in this city, 3 of which were fatal. One was only 15 years old. And, when it comes to a lot of the recent shootings, the suspects have been teenagers. What is your plan to restore safety, not only here, but around the country?
Yeah, this is another new problem we didn't have before Trudeau. Gun crime, violent gun crime, is up 120% after 9 years of Justin Trudeau. The problem is that he keeps releasing repeat violent offenders onto the streets on automatic bail, parole, and house arrest through bills like C-75, C-83, and C-5. The worst criminals can get released automatically. Here in BC, Vancouver, give you an incredible fact. They had to arrest the same 40 offenders 6,000 times in 1 year because they keep getting released on automatic liberal bail. I will repeal catch and release, and I'll bring in a new law that says that rampant career criminals are ineligible for bail, parole, probation, or house arrest. Second is we're going to secure the borders, because 99% of the shipping containers that come in are uninspected, and that's where 85% of the guns that do crime come from. It's not Canadian gun owners who are very much law-abiding. They have to go through a lot of screening and testing and training. It's not gun owners that are doing this. It's gun criminals who are smuggling in illegal foreign arms. So I want to scan every shipping container at our 4 biggest ports, bolster our our fight against international crime syndicates that bring the drugs and guns in, and we'll pay for it by canceling this ridiculous gun grab that Trudeau's promising, where he wants to confiscate hunting rifles. It's not Grandpa Joe's hunting rifle that's causing the problem. It's gangsters and gun criminals. Let's block them at the border and lock them up in prison.
And I have to ask, so yesterday you issued a challenge to Jagmeet Singh to vote for a carbon tax election, and with all due respect, you call him sellout Singh, you mispronounce his name. How's that going to get him on your side?
Well, I'm not trying to get him on my side. He's on Justin Trudeau's side. I'm on the side of the people. He has sold out Canadians. He signed on to a costly coalition with Trudeau that doubled housing costs, taxed your food, punished your work, unleashed crime and chaos in our communities. He did that by breaking the promise he made that he was going to be a voice for workers. So he did sell out. And what I'm saying is, stand up for the people who voted for you. Vote for a carbon tax election so that Canadians can choose a common sense conservative government that will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. So we can again have a country where hard work earns a powerful paycheck that buys affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods.
And as we wrap up, we just spoke with Mr. Singh a few minutes ago. I left an open-ended question for him at the end. I'm going to do the same for you. But I'd like to hear something that we've not heard you say before or really hit home. What is that?
Something that you've never heard me say before?
Right, throughout this process.
Yeah, I think one of the things we need to do is get more of our immigrant doctors and nurses working in the system. We have 20,000 immigrant doctors, 32,000 immigrant nurses. that can't work because they can't get a license even when they're highly qualified. So what I'm proposing is that we do in the professions what we did in the trades 72 years ago, which is to create a national licensing test so that newcomers to Canada can take the test, prove they're qualified, and we can get more doctors, nurses, engineers, and other highly qualified immigrant professionals earning powerful paychecks and relieving those terrible wait times in our hospitals.
Okay, Federal Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre, thank you very much for taking time to speak with us this afternoon. We really appreciate.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to approach immigration, targeted immigration. If we have a shortage of doctors and nurses, then that's what we go after. But enough of this going after, minimum wage or Singh Horton's, sorry, that's my fault. Tim Hortons jobs. Those are for Canadians. Those are for people that can qualify for those jobs. It's a lot harder, as we know, to qualify for, a doctor or a nurse. A lot of schooling, takes a lot of time to get to that point. And if the statistics show that we have shortages, which, hey, I don't have a family doctor. My family doesn't have a family doctor, and we have 2 young kids. So kind of crazy that this is the state of Canada. We've been on a wait list for over 3 years. But I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments about this interview with Pierre Poilievre. Are you all about Pierre and the Conservatives? Do you have any criticism about Pierre and his policies? Let me know down below in the comments. And as always, on your way out, I'd like to encourage you guys one last time to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next one. Bye for now.